Oh boy, what is going on? It's the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. I am so fucking pissed, which you already know if you're a subscriber of mine. You already know I'm fucking pissed off. You already know I'm pissed off by virtue of the main event result. You already know that. We are going to fucking go through the whole motions like I've already done multiple times. Terrible ending, terrible decision. Doesn't need to be said any more than it already would have already been said. But honestly, the entire card so far has sucked. Okay. The best match right now probably would be LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. I mean, I don't even know how to judge the main event because I'm still flabbergasted by the results. So maybe I'm just kind of just in the moment right now, but I really don't even know how to evaluate. There were so many false finish. One thing I will say, because I can say this, because I've been watching wrestling since forever. I've been watching it like end of New Generation era into the Attitude Era. Type deal, okay? That's when I started watching when I was 6, okay? The thing I'll fucking say right now is I am so sick and tired of so many over-the-top finishing moves being done in matches. Like, that's the one thing I'll say about the triple threat right now is too many false finishes were done in this match. Like, I've just had enough of it. Like, I've just had enough of it. Like, why does there have to be 5 finishing moves by each opponent in every match in this era, or even in the last era? Like, in the Attitude Era, that shit never happened. In the New Generation Era, that shit never happened. Okay? Like, and I don't have a problem with false finishes, but they do it almost every time now in high-profile matches, and they don't need to do it. Shawn Michaels never got a Sweet Chin music on Stone Cold Steve Austin in WrestleMania 14, and that was among one of the greatest main events in my opinion, it was one of the greatest main events for WrestleMania. Despite it not being ranked in the top 50 greatest matches of all time by WWE, which I think was fucking biased as fuck. But nonetheless, you get the point. That's where I would say this match had way too many things going on for its own good. And again, it was for nothing, which again, just makes the whole point of it kind of messed up. But the only good thing that will be remembered through the years of this match is that badass video package. CM Punk doing the This Fire Burns package of a recap of, his WWE career. That was fire. I fucking had goosebumps, nostalgia, just like everyone else that loves that badass entrance. Loved the Living Color people that were coming in and doing the music, and then they did the whole, Punk was right there with them. That was just really cool. And again, that badass video package, that badass Living Color doing the theme song, all that was a ruse. It was all a ruse. They made you believe he was going to win by just doing that. Seth got, an okay entrance, but nothing spectacular than what he has done in previous WrestleMania entrances. Okay. Roman Reigns' entrance was actually kind of subpar compared to what he's done before in his entrances in the past couple of years. So they made you believe Punk was going to win. And they, boy, oh boy, they fucked us Punk fans with this one. So I will say one thing, and I'll admit it. It's like, look, I'll admit when I'm wrong about stuff, okay? Especially when it comes to wrestling. I will admit when WWE has fooled me, okay? WWE fooled me on this one, okay? They really did. They fooled me because I didn't believe that Paul Heyman was going to turn. I know there have been people debating that online. They had suggested that he was going to be with Seth. And even when the whole, Seth didn't stomp Paul Heyman thing happened, I still was not convinced. And the reason why I was not convinced was because I didn't buy into the fact that Paul Heyman was going to turn again on CM Punk. Because Paul already turned on Punk back in 2013. So I was like, are they really going to have him turn again on Punk, especially this early into, him going back with Punk? I was like, that was my whole rationale. My whole rationale to why I didn't think Punk was going to lose Paul Heyman. That was my whole rationale. I was like, they're not going to do it this soon. They're not going to do it again. They already did it once before. Obviously that was over a decade ago, but still, I mean, it was done before. So why would you do it again here? That was where my rationale was thinking. And because of that, I'll say this right now, I was wrong. WWE got me on this one. Because that was my line of thinking to that whole rumor. And, of course, that didn't happen. Now, Punk didn't get pinned. Roman got pinned, which I was surprised since, Seth's whole mission was to get rid of Punk, right? But yet he didn't pin Punk. So, yeah, just not the ideal situation, to say the least. And there were other things too. I mean, again, the match was good. I don't know if I could make it match of the night because I just really got annoyed with a lot of the false finishes after a while. Because I was like, okay. And then Roman did like the super spear on Seth and he kicked out of that. There were so many spots we can go over. Obviously they got the announce tables involved. The whole Roman and Seth thing, but possibly doing a Shield thing. And then Roman was like, no. And then, of course, the ending with Heyman going with Punk and then low blowing him and then thinking that he's going with Roman and then he low blows him. I thought it was overly they overbooked the match. And that's where I don't know if I can put it on the high end or not right now. I just don't know. I don't know if I want to put this at 4 or 3/7 right now because I just don't know right now. Like the match just, especially the ending just really pissed me off. But I mean, the entire card, man, just now, of course, unfortunately, Rey Mysterio wasn't able to compete. He got injured on SmackDown, which really was unfortunate. I still think I still think Grande Americano would have beaten Rey Mysterio had he wrestled, but when it was Rey Fenix, I knew for sure El Grande Americano was going to win because Rey just made his debut. There was no way they were going to give him a win with no story build like that. But probably, as much as I'm really disappointed about the CM Punk match, the biggest disappointment tonight was LA Knight, and Jacob Fatu. That match was by far the match of the night. But I'm still pissed off that LA Knight didn't get the win. That iconic BFT, when Jacob went off the turnbuckle, that should have been the finish. That was a WrestleMania moment right there. And they blew it by letting him get the ropes. I'm like, I knew he was going to lose right then and there. When that happened, I knew he was going to lose right there, because I'm like, you cannot do an ending like that, or not do a move like that, and the match not be the finish right there, unless he isn't winning. Like, if he isn't winning, there's no way you do that move and the match doesn't end. Like, it ends. Like, if LA Knight was to win the match, that right there was his winning moment right there. Like, that would have been the end of the match if LA Knight was winning. Like, and so when he got the rope, I knew he wasn't winning, because you're not gonna. There was no other ending LA Knight could have done at WrestleMania that was gonna top that. So right there, I knew he wasn't winning, and I was just so devastated, because y'all look. I know some people are like, "Oh, just wait, let it play out." No, dude, you can't fucking have that fucking mentality, okay? Because if you have that mentality, they're never going to win the world title. Look what happened to Braun Strowman. Okay, when Braun Strowman was red hot for 3 years? And freaking Vince, now of course this was a Vince McMahon booked Raw and SmackDown at the time. But he was massively over, and they kept giving the shit to Roman Reigns, or even Seth Rollins, because there was that one time where they gave it to Seth when unfortunately Roman Reigns had to leave because of the cancer stuff that happened. Unfortunately, of course, Roman made a recovery from that, thankfully. But you get the point. They always saw Braun as a secondary guy, where that's basically what they're doing with LA Knight. And I called this over a year ago, and people thought you can go back to the comment section. Literally, people thought, oh, just let it play out. Let it play out. Motherfuckers, we're 2 years into this, and where has this playing out gotten you? This is why I tell people, stop doing this bullshit of let it play out. Because guess what? Then it's never going to happen. LA Knight is basically, where does he go now? Where does he go now that he's not the champion? Oh, people are like, oh, he's going to win the world. How is he going to win the world title, guys? Freaking Jey Uso is the world champion, which, by the way, that brings me to another thing. Jey Uso won the title, and he fucked Gunther. Okay? Gunther looked completely weak in this fucking match. Okay? Gunther has been a fucking dominant heel. He's not been a dirty heel, a typical dirty heel. He's been a dominant power heel. Okay? He's never really done dirty tricks and stuff like that. But yet, in this match, he did. He tried to hit Jey Uso with the world title, or he did hit him with the world title. And then, the moment he got him into Gunther's finishing submission hold, freaking Gunther tapped out within 5 seconds of the hold. Like, are you kidding me right now? Gunther, the guy who hasn't been pinned? The guy who has been pinned twice. He's been pinned twice on the main roster. This guy has only been pinned twice on the main roster, and Jey Uso made his ass tap out in 5 fucking seconds. Okay? If you're going to tell me that somehow LA Knight is going to win the world title from Jey Uso, you're crazy. Because that's not fucking happening. Okay? That's not fucking happening. They made him fucking win in 5-7 seconds of getting the Gunther's hold in. Submission hold in. Okay? That shit is not happening. Jey Uso took everything that LA Knight did. Okay? And I told you all that a year ago. I told you all that a fucking year ago. Alright? He does a one-liner move like LA Knight does. He fucking took the glasses concept from LA Knight. Jey Uso was not doing the glass yeet thing before LA Knight was doing the yeah glasses. He did that first. Okay? And also the idiots, by the way, because I know I got somebody in my comment section that said that Yeet was before. Yeah, you better not fucking say that again, because you're stupid if you say that. Because he's been doing it since TNA, okay? LA Knight, when he was E.I. Drake, was doing before Jey Uso, and even before Yeet was even a fucking thing, okay? Before even Jey Uso came up with that Yeet shit, okay? Fucking LA Knight was doing on the main roster before Jey Uso was doing Yeet, okay? So I don't want to hear this bullshit anymore, because I heard somebody fucking making that dumbass comment, and I'm still pissed off about that bullshit. That there are actually idiots that are going to spread bullshit propaganda that isn't fucking true, okay? So LA Knight is not the champion now. And what is LA Knight going to do now? Where is he going now? He hasn't had a decisive win other than Logan Paul. Logan Paul is the only decisive win he's had so far. Okay? Who is he really beaten when he was United States champion? He beat Shinsuke. He beat Andrade. He beat fucking Carmelo Hayes. He's beaten low tier guys or jobbers, okay? That's who he's beaten, okay? You know, Santos Escobar, okay? Were these guys in the WrestleMania card? Were these guys that LA Knight defeated in the WrestleMania card? No, they weren't. Only Logan Paul was, and that's because, you know, it's Logan fucking Paul, okay? That's the only person. These other guys were not on the fucking card, okay? So yes, LA Knight did need to beat Jacob Fatu to establish that he is a serious contender, okay? Jacob Fatu didn't need it as much as LA Knight needs it right now to keep his momentum going, okay? Also, another thing that Jey Uso stole from LA Knight is the Slim Jim, okay? LA Knight was the solo male Slim Jim guy. Now he's sharing it with Jey Uso, okay? All of a sudden, okay? That's another thing. So yeah, like, Jey Uso essentially took all the elements that LA Knight was using and made it into his own Yeet character. Okay, and now he's the world champion, and now Triple H is trying to say, oh, all this thing pays off. Where's LA Knight's push? Where the hell is LA Knight's push? Where is what LA Knight put work in? Because he's been putting in the work of getting over on his own way before Jey Uso started doing Yeet. Okay, I'm not talking about Jey Uso being on the main roster. Okay, because obviously he's been on the main roster longer than LA Knight was in WWE. But LA Knight has been doing this character way before Jey Uso did. And yet Jey Uso's getting the nod more than fucking LA Knight is. And now LA Knight has to lose to freaking Jacob Fatu. And where is he going? Oh, he's going to win Money in the Bank, and then he won't win Money in the Bank, right? Because that's what's going to happen. You're all going to say that he's going to win Money in the Bank, and then it's not going to happen. All right? Look, if I'm wrong, I'll come back in a minute. Like, I don't give a fuck. I hope he fucking does fucking win Money in the Bank, okay? But I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to, because I don't think it's ever coming. I think he's going to be in the mid-card tier for a while until they, you know, move on to other guys. Look at the guys that they have on the roster right now. Where is the window for LA Knight to win the title? Where is the window when you got guys like Braun Breaker, you got Dominic Mysterio, you got the Lucha Libres now, okay, right? You got Penta in there, and now apparently they acquired AA, right, AAA or whatever, which, you know, that's going to monopolize the wrestling industry even more, you know, because they acquired it, so that's one less wrestling company, right? So there you go, even more. So now you're ruining the window because you got young up-and-coming guys that are coming out, and they're going to eventually get over. So where is the window where people keep saying that LA Knight is going to win the world title? See, I'm realistic. I know how the format works. I've seen it far too much with Vince McMahon. And just because it's Triple H, don't think that Triple H doesn't think, any differently when it comes to, the stars he wants to make and be the champion. Okay? That's the thing that people don't seem to understand. Okay? That's what people don't seem to understand. Yes, LA Knight had a badass entrance. Yes, it took multiple, things to take out LA Knight. But that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because all that matters when you look back is wins and losses. Okay? Wins and losses do matter. I hate to break this to people. Okay? People like, oh, wins and losses don't matter because, it's obviously predetermined. Winning and losing does matter in WWE because the perception of the fans that are cheering for their favorites, they second guess or they continue to believe. Okay? That is why wins and losses do matter. Okay? Wins and losses do matter. They are important. LA Knight winning here could have catapulted him even further. Okay? Jacob Fatu is on the rise. I keep hearing that saying that Jacob Fatu needed to win this. No, he really didn't, because Jacob Fatu is already on a wrecking force right now. Him losing wouldn't have hurt him, because if he continues to have a rampage, if he keeps going on rampages like the way they have created him, plus it's rumored he's probably going to feud with Solo Sikoa at some point, right? He could have had a personal rivalry with Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa inadvertently costing him the match at WrestleMania, which is what I predicted, okay? And that didn't even happen. He didn't even come out, okay? That would have been another way to have made things work. That would have made a way where LA Knight could win, have a decisive win, but at the same time not really necessarily hurt Jacob Fatu, okay? Because then it kickstart this personal feud and jealousy between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. That would have been the way to go. But of course they didn't do that. Now again, they had a banger match. Not going to take away from that because that was the best match. Make no mistake about it. LA Knight, versus Jacob Fatu was by far the best match of night one. Okay? That was way better than any of the other matches because most of the matches tonight were very were very underwhelming. Okay? They were very underwhelming. Okay? Nobody cared about Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Okay? The best reaction of that match was the ending because throughout the whole match, most of the crowd was dead. Okay? Nobody cared about that match. The Naomi versus Jade Cargill was whatever, though the powerbomb thing was pretty impressive by Jade Cargill. The New Day thing, average tag match, New Day won, dirty tactics. But again, nothing really felt like defining until we got really to the main event. Okay? Just nothing really to work with, unfortunately. So yes, it was a disappointing WrestleMania to say the least. I'm mad. I hated this so far, and I'm probably going to not want to watch night two. I don't even know why I torture myself for this. I mean, I torture myself with night one just because of CM Punk, okay, and LA Knight. But, I mean, the night two, I don't even know if I want to watch this. I mean, Cody's definitely winning now, if anything else, because, I mean, Seth Rollins just won night one, a heel, essentially heel turn, just won night one, because Seth is essentially a heel. And I don't even know where you go next with CM Punk. Are you going to continue the feud with Seth Rollins into Backlash? Or is it going to go to SummerSlam? What do you do now? What do you do now? I mean, you're not going to have Seth and Punk at WrestleMania next year, right? I would think not. So you're probably going to have them feud at SummerSlam. Okay. So, I mean, there's just no way to figure out where they're going with this going forward, because Punk didn't eat the pin, so Seth didn't really kill CM Punk like he wanted to, right? Quote unquote. from his wanting to get rid of Punk from the WWE. He didn't really do that because he didn't pin Punk. So by him not pinning Punk, that means Punk should, in storyline wise, should still be around, and would want to get his revenge on Paul and Seth. So that would probably lead to SummerSlam, or unless they decide to do it at Backlash, the next pay-per-view. But I think they're gonna probably wait until the summer. But yeah, that's my disappointment. I'm not a big fan of night one, in the decision making. And Cody's definitely winning night two now. He's got to win night two because they just did that massive heel turn at the end of night one. There's no way they don't go off the show without a clean finish, like Cody coming out on top. But I'm more convinced now he's definitely winning. But yeah, that's it. I'm out. Comment, rate, if you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. And that's it. Punk was robbed. I'm out of here. Peace.